Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Strong Talk. It's me, your host, Coach John. And today we're going to be talking about training, why it's important, the benefits, how you should train, and some common myths that people kind of get tied up on. So, first of all, I'm going to talk about why I'm using the word training and not exercise, because I think framing it in a certain light gives a certain validity to it. So exercise just seems like it's pointless. I'm doing it because I have to, and training means you're training for something. I'm training for life, I'm training for an event, I'm training to be more healthy. So it just gives it some kind of agency where you're not just wasting your time, as they would say. So let's get right into it. Why is training important? Strength training specifically, heading to the gym, doing strenuous exercise. A couple of things that you'll get from it, the benefits. You'll get increased muscle mass, which is usually always good. You'll get increased cardiovascular health. You'll get a better sense of proprioception, which is your ability to know what your body is doing, where it is in space. So you'll get less clumsy, hopefully. You also get increased strength, right? And a lot of people will say that, strength is not functional. I've actually had a trainer in my gym tell me that an overhead press is a non-functional movement. So I want to ask this gentleman, do you never reach overhead to get the cookie jar? Do you never reach overhead to get anything? Obviously not. If you don't reach overhead, you're probably either A, too tall, or some kind of strange man doesn't have any cupboards in his house. So it's not for you anyway. But yeah, all strength is functional. You always bend down to pick up stuff, that's a deadlift. You push things open, that's a bench press. You pull things, you pull a door, that's a row. So all strength is functional, not just in that, the motions, but also the benefit you get from using your brain. So a lot of people will think, it's just for your muscles, but your brain also learns how to use the muscles. Your central nervous system gets stronger and it learns how to activate these muscles and use them a lot better. So with that, going forward, the other benefits you get are, just make sure I'm hitting all the right marks. You also get increased feelings of well-being and energy. So a lot of people be like, I'm really tired after I work out. It might start out like that, but it doesn't end up like that. So what will happen is the more you do is the more you can do. And that's kind of true for everything. If you tend to do like the absolute bare minimum, eventually the bare minimum is going to move up and move up and move up, because you're going to be like, I didn't feel quite as sore as last time. Soreness is not a good barometer of a good workout, but we'll get to that later. But yes, you might be a guy not feeling as tired, it's getting a little easier, I'm recovering a lot faster, all that sort of thing. But basically you'll get more energy from any kind of working out once it is, to a certain level where you're getting fairly close to failure. So another fringe benefit, I think the big reason most people go to the gym is to look better. And this might be a bit of a hot take. You don't go to the gym to lose weight. You go to the gym to build muscle and get stronger. And the way I like to frame it is, you're rewarding your body with strength. Say that again. You are rewarding your body with strength. Strength is all over functional, all around functional. It increases the quality of your life. Everyday things become a lot easier. But losing weight does not happen in the gym. Building muscle happens in the gym. Losing weight happens outside the gym, generally. You cannot out-exercise a bad diet. But we'll get to that in another episode. And that's fine. We're talking about strength today. We're talking about the gym. We're talking about training. We're not talking about nutrition and ramming food into our mouth, or not ramming food into our mouth. So you might think, okay, great. So where do I start? How should I train? Well, it depends. What's your goal? If your goal is to get ridiculously strong, then you need to lift heavy weights. If you want to just get pretty big, then you need to lift slightly less heavy weights with slightly more reps. The rep ranges and weights you should use are highly specific to what you want to do. But if you're now starting out, here's one for you. You want to start with 2 to 3 days. If you are an absolute novice, never done anything in the gym, never done any sports, nothing like that, start with 2 days and space them out. So you're gonna have to kind of figure out, okay, well, am I gonna be very sore? What you wanna do is 1 horizontal pushing exercise, 1 vertical pushing exercise, 1 horizontal pulling exercise, 1 vertical pulling exercise, 1 quadricep specific movement, that's the front of your leg, so that's like squats and that sort of thing, and 1 hamstring specific movement, so that's like deadlifts and hamstring curls and all of that. And you do that just for about 2 to 3 sets of 10-ish reps. A lot of people will be out there like, oh, well, you have to work in this rep range, and I'm sure you've seen lots of YouTube videos of people talking about that. The number is not as important as the effort. If you put out the same effort for 8 reps, you can't get 10, it's the same as getting 10. Your body's not like, oh, you didn't get 10, none for you, bitch. Nah, it don't work like that. So you're gonna have to figure it out. You can always DM me, or you can hire me as a coach. Anyways, so I want to tackle some common myths that I hear all the time. Coach John, I did not get sore. This was not a good workout. I talked about this a little bit earlier. Soreness is not a good barometer of whether you've had a good workout or not. Soreness after you exercise is a response to novel stimulus. I just tripped over my own tongue. It's a response to novel stimulus, meaning that you have done something that you haven't done before and your body is responding with, oh shit, what was that? Or maybe the muscles you haven't used in a long time. So let's say you used to doing squats, like not to depth, and the minute you start going to depth at 90 degrees or lower, you're probably gonna get pretty sore because it's new stimulus, it's something new, something you haven't done before. So your body's gonna respond with, until you get used to it, and then you stop getting sore. So soreness is not a good barometer of whether or not you've had a good workout. Another one is, if I lift heavy weights, I'm going to get bulky. That is simply not true. You cannot get bulky from lifting heavy weights. You get bulky from putting too much food into your face hole. Lifting heavy weights will get your muscles bigger, yes, but it also needs to be complemented by the right nutrition and sleep. Funny enough, lots of people just be like, nope, sleep's not for me. I'm just gonna doom scroll all night. Anyways, another myth that I hear is I have to do light weights with lots of reps to build muscle. Not true. You can build muscle in any range of reps and any weight because it's not really that specific. And also, if you're not stepping on stage, maybe you shouldn't be majoring in the minors, as they say, where you're talking about the specifics, and you should be worried about the things that are a lot more general. And the other thing that I hear most often is, I don't want to lift heavy. Why? Why don't you want to lift heavy? Because you think you're going to get injured? Probably not. If you're doing it with good form and you have correct supervision, you're probably not going to get injured. And another one I've heard as well is that if you lift weights, it stunts your growth as a child. It absolutely does not. That myth comes from an observational study. Some guy looked at, I believe it was Japanese rice field workers, and they're like, oh, they put big sacks of rice on their back and tote weight all day, so that's why they're short. No, it's because Asian people are generally shorter than, almost everybody else. Sorry, my Asians, including myself, they just had a whole lot. Unlucky dog. So yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. And don't forget, like, subscribe, comment, share it with someone you think might get value from it. You can find me on Instagram, and big shout out to my recording studio, Last Man Standing Productions. You want to get strong and stay strong and be ready for anything. I'll see you guys next week.